Hi and welcome back to the next video. This is video 22, and this time we are doing what the title is saying. We will enhance our user profile or user update profile component with uploading an actual profile image, and we will also display the progress bar, so you can always see if you have a very slow connection or a very large image, how much time or how much is actually uploaded. Then we are having the video structure as always. We will start with a look at our video outcome, so you can see what we are building. Then we will write or read the user story for this, and then we will implement it and close everything. Let's have a short look at the video outcome. So we can see here, if I'm logged in, then I can go to update my user profile. And as before, I can update my name here to whatever I want, and then this is saved. But I can also now, for example, set a profile image I uploaded. You can see here we have our progress bar. To make it visible for you, we can, for example, slow our network a little bit down and say we are having like good 3G, and then just upload a bigger file, and then you see we are having actually our progress bar here. And as soon as it is finished, then you see the image here will change. And so now we could go for all our users, go to our user profile number 7, and then you can see we have changed here our profile image. Let's have a short look at our story. Here we are in video 22, Angular upload profile image. So the story is, as a user, I want to be able to upload my own profile image so other users can see who I am. And the acceptance criteria are the update profile component should have a new area to upload an image, and the uploading progress should be displayed with a progress bar from Angular material. So progress bar would look something like this here, so you can always see how fast you're uploading or when it's done. So we can move this into doing and just start by switching to our code. So we can see we are on our branch develop, and so we can just use git-flow feature start to make a new feature branch for us like usual. And so this is video 22. So we will switch to a new branch, feature video 22, based on the status of develop. And so we can start developing now. So the first things that we need to do is, first we need the progress bar input module, or the progress bar module here in our app.module. So we can just import this progress bar module, I think. Let's see. Yes. So we can just import this. And the other that we want to have is the icon module, because you want to display basic icons for file uploading. So we can just use this module and add it to our imports. And so now we have all the dependencies that we need for this video. The first thing that we can do is we can go into our update user profile, or let's say first we can kill all our processes that we don't need right now. So this is our backend, I think. So we can clear this and we can start it later. And so we want to change our update user profile component. And one thing that we will need here is something to catch the file upload that we are doing, or the file that we're adding from our browser. So we can from Angular use viewChild, and we want to catch or get the selector that's named file upload. We will do this in the HTML later. So later we will have here an element called file upload in this HTML. And then we catch with this here, with viewChild, the value from it. So this is not a static one, because we have like values, or like it could change. And this is from type element ref. And then we have a file, and this will be from type file, and this is something we have to do in interface. So we can just say here export interface file, and this has something like data, it has something like progress, which is a number, and we have something like, I just have to think how it's called. This should be in progress, and this is just a Boolean value, so we can listen to this later in our, so the progress bar is the number like till to 100, so we can see here in this progress bar, where is it? We are displaying the percentage of the operation, so 100 would be complete, and so we have to provide a number that is not, that is smaller, or is 100 or smaller. So this file here will have data null, it will have in progress, why is it not giving us this thing? Ah, my mistake. In progress false, and progress is from type is also null. Or we can start with 0. So with this here, we are getting our HTML element from here with the that's named file upload, and then we can later set in a function here this file to this, and then the progress and in progress we are getting from our HTTP request where we upload this file to our backend. And as you remember, in our postman request we were doing this here. We had our route post to API users upload. We will need our bearer token, so we know to which user this profile image is going. And we need to add a form data called file with our image data. So we have to do, we have to add this to our service. So we can very simple go into our user service and add here a new function, and let's say, or let's simply say upload profile image. And this can just be from type observable, let's say from any. And then we can return this .http.post. And of course, what we are getting in is we get in some form data. And we can just Google for Angular, or let's say form data. And so it says the form data object lets you compile a set of key value pairs to send using it XHTML HTTP request. And so we can, how we see it, we can, for example, add these types here. And so this is like we see here, we have a pair, a file, or the name, the key, and the value. And so we're just doing this here. So we make the post request, which is from type form data. And then we go against our API, and this is just the path that we are having here, API/users/upload. And then we want to provide the form data that we are having here. And what we also want to do is we want to report progress to true, and we want to observe all our events. With this we are getting as a return always the status of the upload, so we can later display this in our update user profile here with our progress bar, and then you can see how fast you are uploading or how much time left you will need. So we can do this right now, and making now the function that we need to upload a file. So first we can do something like on click. So if you click for uploading a file, something should happen. And what should happen is, at first we have a new file input, and this is our file upload and the native element that we are catching. So right here, this is what we are getting. And then we want to do something with it. We want to click on it, so the file here, so we can then open this. And what we can do now is we can just listen for file input and then on change. So if something happens here, then we are just executing a normal or a function. So if this value here is changing our file input, so if there's coming a new value, and then we can do something very easy. We can set our file that we have here with set to null, to false, to 0. We can do something with this. So we can make this to an object, and then we have like our data, and this is our file input. And there we could also, if we would want to upload multiple files, we would have this here as an array, but so since we're just uploading one file, we always want to have the first value. So you can see this in the HTML later. Then we have here in progress will be false, and the progress will still be set to 0, because this will just start if we actually upload something with the HTTP request. Then we can reset our file upload. So we say native element.value is empty again. And then we can call, or we can do more. So we can split this up into upload file, for example, and name it like this. And as an input, we are just getting the file that we want to upload. And so we call here this file upload, and then we insert here this.file. Or we could also say we are removing this from here. We are just calling file upload, upload file, I mean. And set this file here. So we can say const file is this.file, whatever we want, or we can make it different. That's an issue. So then we need a new object of form data, because we need our key value pairs. So we say a new form data, and then we can set something, and we can just say form data dot append and add something to it. And as you remember, like in our Postman request, this will be the key file. And the other value is this file. So we can actually say this.file.data. So this is our image. And then we can also set this.file.inProgress to true, because now we are starting, we'll start uploading. And then we can call our user service. We want to upload our profile image. And then we give him our form data. And then we pipe our outcome. And we can map it. And this will just be an event. And then we do something. So we could make it with a switch and could say we want to make a switch over our event.type. And then we have our first case would be HTTP event type dot upload progress. So every time we are getting a HTTP event here, so we can actually make this HTTP event. Oh, let's look at HTTP event. Can we import this? No. Okay, let's just make it easy. We have our HTTP event upload progress, and then we want to do something, and we want to set our file.progress to math.around, and this is because we are getting like a lot of not the percentage, so we have to calculate the percentage. So we multiply it with 100 and divide it by the total value. So this is the total size of the image that you want to upload, and this is the size of that's actually uploaded. So we have to multiply it and divide it then by the total number, and then we get the actual progress in percentage. So our progress bar can actually work with it, and then we want to have a break, and then we have another case, and this would be our HTTP event type dot response, and then we will just return this event. And then we can also catch the error if something not so good happens. And this error would be a type of HTTP error response. And if something bad happens, then we say this.file.inProgress is set to false, or if it ends. And then we can say return off, because we always want to return when observable. And we can just say upload failed. Let's import this from nest.js. And of course we have to subscribe to this whole thing, so the observability is getting hot. And here we're having an event. And what we can do is, if our event is of type object, like here, then we can say we want to patch our form value. So we have now here a form, we can patch a value, and for this we have to add this value first, because now we have in our form, we are just having the ID, the name, and the username. But as you remember, in our user, we can look this up in our, where is it? Let's see, where is our interface? So here's our interface user, and you can see we have our profile image string, and so we will need this also in our form. So we can set this here to user.ProfileImage, and then we want to update our form. So when we get this event here that we uploaded successfully, then we can say we want to update the value of the form, the profile image, and set it to event.body.ProfileImage, because as you saw here, if we upload something, then we get in return the profile image in the body, the link. So we can set it to here, and we have now added it to here, and we also need to add it to our form. So we can say profile image, and we just give it null, and this is not required because you can also have a profile if you just registered without a actual profile image. So now we can go to our HTML. And we can just go into here to our met card. And as you remember, we have here just our container. And then we can add here another part above all our form fields. So first we can, for example, say we are having here another div around all our form fields. And yeah, please remember, this is not about styling everything nice. This is just that's working, so that you get an idea of how an image upload would work, how you could update a profile, whatever. And then the fine-tuning or designing or the fine-tuning of the code, you can do this, because then it's easily getting too much here for a video. So we could, for example, say style, we give it a width of 80%, and we could give them also class container. Then we can make it formatted with a string or Shift, Alt and F. And then we can add here another div and say this is having the style with 80%. And here we can add our file upload. And so we can make here another met card inside this and give it a met card content. And this could be, for example, at first we want to display our image that we at the moment have our user. So we can say ngIf. This should be displayed if our form.get, and then we get the value from the profile image. So we say profile image, and then we have to get value here. And so if this has an actual value, then this image should get displayed. And so for this to work, we actually need our source. And we have seen this before in our user profile component where we use this. So we can just get this link here. This is the link where we are returning the profile image. And here we now need to add a value, and this will be our form.get. Then we get the profile image and we get the value. And if you want, we can now start it, and we should see that there's a profile image for our user if we have one. So we have to run our API. And can have a look at it later. So the next thing that we would need, or that we wanted to have, is we want to have our progress bar for the image upload. So we can make another list element and add here the met progress bar. And as you remember, this has one value, and this is our file.progress. Because you remember here, if we upload the image, then we get an HTTP event upload progress, and then we set the progress of this file here always to the number that we have. And so we can just add this value here. And this should be it, I think. We can see later if this works. And then we could, after the met card content, we could add something like met card actions. We can look this up later. And for example, we could just add here a button. This is of course a met button from Angular material, which is having the color, let's set it to 1. And what we want to do is, if we click on the button, then we want to start, or we want to open the file upload. And so you can see if we on-click here, we are executing our on-click function, and we are catching this file upload element ref, and then we hit it, and this is what we need later. And then we are having here, for example, we could add an icon. I don't know how to name or how it's named, so we have to look it up. So we can simply go here into icon, and where was, I think somewhere was where were all the icons? Let's go Angular material icons. Yeah, so what do we need? Image or file? Is here something like upload? Let's go for upload. Yeah, so for example, we could go for cloud upload or whatever. Let's go for cloud upload. Was it like this? Cloud upload, yes. So we can go like this, and then we need our actual input element. And this is actually, we can, if we do it like I will do it, we hide it, but we don't have to. You could also say we don't need this on-click function here, we can just, with clicking on input, we execute this. So this has some values, like we can give it the type we want to upload a file. Then we name this file upload, so we can get it with our element ref here. We can also give it an ID, like that's also file upload. We can make the name file upload. We can also say accept only images. And we can say the style is display none. And so this will not be seen, and we, like we said, we execute this opening if we click on the button. And so we can now look if everything works fine. So we go to our front end. And we cannot go to this because we are not logged in. You see here the rest is working. But if we are logging in, we can just use this here value. There is everything here. So if we take this email and we go with our password ASD, we don't want to save it, then we can go to our update profile, I think. Let's see here. And so you see we don't have a real image here. And now we have here our progress bar. We are having here our image, and if we click this, then we add this input here, and then we could, for example, add this, and then you see file upload was going really quick. And I also have some CSS ready. We can just copy it in. So just for you to know, the form field, to give it a little more width and a margin. And our image will have a border radius, padding, and width, so it's not that big. And for example, we could also say we don't want this to happen on this button click, so we could, for example, comment this out and not say here display none. Then you would have the normal input of your computer, or even in your language. and says we have not chosen file. And so if we click it, then we have this, what we were doing now in our function, in our component. So here we are clicking our file input. But this here, of course, looks a bit nicer because it's styled better. So for it to see, we are now having here uploaded our smiley. And I've already made here a big file, a screenshot from the code. And to see, it's going very fast. But to make it visible for you, we can say we are having here our console. We could make it like for regular free tree and upload another file. And then you see the progress bar is getting really slow. And for even better to display it to you, or what's happening, is we see we are using this here, and since we are doing here report progress true and we observe the events, we are getting all the events back. So we can, for example, tap in here, we say we have the event, and we console log our event, and then we can upload another file and just watch what's happening. So let's make it a bit faster. If we reload. So right now we can go to regular free good free tree. We want to first let's clean everything here. Then upload a new file. Let's say we want to upload this file. Okay, this is too small. Let's say we upload this file here. So you see we are getting all the events, and when you see here, type 1 is the upload, and type 3 it's done. And when you see here, the total size was 733,000. And when you say every time there was uploaded something, we are getting a new event, and we can update this progress here. And so you can also see, if we go, for example, to our user profile, when you see we now have as an image our code here. So now let's remove this console log again and just save everything. So we can now check against our story if we have done everything. So what we see here is we have our new upload profile image area in our user update component, and we are displaying our uploading process with our progress bar to the user. So we can save this and move it to done. And like what you have seen before is in our assets, where is it? And you can see here as before in our uploads folder, when there are all the new files here. So let's just commit all our changes. So to make it a bit easier for you to follow, we can cancel this here and cancel the other event also. So to make it a bit easier, we can just remove from our API folder all the new files. So because we don't actually need this. So we can delete them, and now we can just add all the things that we did. Commit them with a message, and this is V-22. And the message could be added image upload for the profile image. And let's push it to our remote repository. Set our upstream branch. And now I could just say git-flow feature finish, and this will merge it back into our develop branch. And then I can also say git push, and then we push our develop branch to our remote repository, so the changes are now online.